Hi everyone, this is Elena with Glass Factory. We are here today with Mazie, who just opened up for Governor's Ball in New York City. Mazie, so nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm Mazie. I'm a 22-year-old indie pop artist from LA, and I just played football.
Yeah. Yay. And she was up early doing her makeup, which looks
yeah.
amazing.
6:45. Yep. It takes a long time.
Okay, so you have a very unique style just in general that stands out, that's like super bright, really colorful. You take a quick scroll down your Instagram and there are all of these references to like really popular like late 90s, early 2000s cartoons.
I appreciate that.
How much would you say that has like influenced your style?
I don't in terms of like the 90s and 2000s. I'm a 90s baby, so probably unconsciously a lot. I would say so much of my fashion comes from like the 60s and the 70s, and so I'm trying to like play off a lot of like the bright colors of like that era, if that makes sense.
Yes. How do you modulate? Okay, so listening to your lyrics, there's kind of this like existential darkness to them that I think is very attributable to kind of the younger generations.
Absolutely.
How do you modulate between like the darkness of your lyrics and then like the brightness of your visuals and just kind of your like visual content?
Yeah, I think that's like the thesis of what Mazie is. It's just sort of this like intense subject matter, I guess, if you're reading into the lyrics, and this like very bright sounding music, very bright visuals, because I feel like that's who I am. Like I have a very pessimistic outlook on the world, but also I'm so happy. Like I'm such a happy person. So I'm trying to like capture that in what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think that your music videos definitely capture that dichotomy really well.
I take my music videos so seriously, so I appreciate that.
No, I really do think that like just between all of the things that you do, like the way that you kind of like show your artistic vision through your music videos, it very much like captures that like dichotomy of like yourself that you were just talking about.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So where do you pull your inspiration from when you're creating these videos?
It's in the videos, it's such a wide like variety, but usually my music videos are literally made by hand, either in my house or my producer Eli's house. And so there's like a team of like 4 of us, and they're all my best friends, and we just get together and like decide what the treatment of the video is. So it's very hands-on, and then we spend like the next week like painting cardboard and like completely transitioning my house into a studio that we can film the music video in. So yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
DIY queen over
yes,
here.
DIY or die. Yeah.
Okay, so your last EP, and obviously you're working on new stuff now, but your last EP features songs that, touching on what we talked about earlier, are very relatable to the younger generations. So what do you want listeners to walk away with when they hear your music?
I hope it makes them want to lean in a little more. Like I know some of the stuff is not like super palatable right away, and you're like, what is this? And I like that about my music. I want people to be like, what is this, and look in more. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
You started releasing songs kind of at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
How did that really, at least from your EP, how do you think the pandemic has affected your creativity?
Oh my God. I mean, whether I liked it or not, like the entire EP that we made was like made in the pandemic, basically. The only song that we made pre-pandemic was No Friends, and then everything after that was like all throughout the last 2 years. So, I mean, it impacted everything. Yeah, it made the whole project.
Yeah. Were there like specific things that were there like specific like themes that you explored in your EP as a part of that were affected by the pandemic?
Absolutely. I mean, specifically Dum Dum was literally written the day of the insurrection, so we had it like playing on the TV behind us, and then we were writing the song, and like we were just talking about misinformation in the United States right now, and just like how impactful that has been like culturally for us, and how confusing it is for I think pretty much everybody living inside the US right now. So that's like how we made Dum Dum. I think I Want to Be Alone was made like after I had come back from protesting at the BLM like protests 2 summers ago. So yeah, I mean, it feels like at every moment we were making the EP, there was something relevant to what was happening.
Touching back on your whole aesthetic, how long did it take for you to like really come into yourself where you were like ready to be like, I'm Mazie, this is me, I'm bold, I'm colorful, I have a pessimistic outlook on the world, but I'm happy.
Yes.
Like, how did you come into that kind of aesthetic?
I think by the time I was like 19, I was just sort of like, I was in school still, and I was like assessing what I wanted to do. I was like, I really want to be an artist so badly, but there wasn't like, the music I was making wasn't making me feel very good. So we spent basically the next 2 years from that point, and when I say we, I mean my producer Ely and I, spent the next 2 years or year I would say, like trying to find that sound. And in that time, you know, I started branching out more as in my personality and the way that I dressed, and like, I think so much of my aesthetic comes from the fact that like I only shop secondhand, so like my stuff started becoming naturally more eclectic because I couldn't like shop fast fashion. So it all came together very naturally over the last like 2 years, I would say.
Yeah.
And then like by March when we released No Friends, or April, whenever it was like, yep, I'm ready. Like, let's just do it, and we'll see where it goes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, we love sustainable, like secondhand.
Yes. I love you, Depop.
Is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I have some music coming out in October. Well, and by music I mean one song, and it's called Spinnin', and I'm so excited. Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on a ton of new music. I have an album coming out next year. I can't wait. So yeah.
Yay! We can't wait to hear it. We can't wait to hear it.
Also, it's really easy to participate in your community. I would literally Google your town and mutual aid next to it, and it's really easy to volunteer. It's really easy to contribute to your local communities, and it's really important to do that. So yeah. Yay.
So important. We love it. We love it. Yay! Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was so fun.
Yeah.